TIFU by giving my 18-month-old my car keys instead of the house keys while loading the car. Disclaimer. This actually happened late last night and it's exactly as it sounds. I feel awful about it honestly, and I'm now realizing just how much I need a day off. It's been a long few weeks and I've been working flat out during the week and running my business over the weekends, with only one day a week where I've been taking my little boy to see our friend who has a child the same age. So I've not had a single day in about a month where I haven't had to leave the house for work of some description, as I've been painting a mural at our friend's house for them. It started about 6:15 last night and we were saying our goodbyes as the littles were getting a bit grisly. My little one would not let me strap him into his car seat, so to keep him occupied I gave him some keys. Normally it's my house keys. Keeps him happy and means I can get him in. This time, stupidly, I got the first set that I could out of my pocket and gave it to him. In the time it took me to close the passenger door and walk around to the boot, I saw the lights flash. Tried the door. Bollocks, my friend was freaking out a bit. I phoned my partner to see if he had the spare. No dice. My little one has, in this time, got his chest straps off, taken off his shoes and socks and undone all the poppers on his dungarees, but is otherwise happy. Check my insurance policy, lo and behold I have RAC. Ring them. They have a target time of 8:30 to 10:40 p.m. calling my partner. He still can't find them. By this point it's 7 p.m. I get a text from RAC. They'll be there in 20 minutes. Great. Very important. My car is an Astra twin top, which means that the doors don't have a frame at the top and closes into the seal under the lip of the roof. It also means the doors are longer. My son pressed the lock button twice when he locked it, so the car is deadlocked. All this is to say that it's incredibly difficult to break into the car. We started off trying the door handles with no joy. Littlin fell asleep and had dropped the key into his car seat. So RAC tries using his tools to press the buttons on the fob, which just kept falling further into the car seat. It was time to give up on that when my son moved his arm and covered the keys. We were stood there for over 2 hours while RAC tried to open the door handles, press the unlock button in the center console, and lastly open the bonnet. Get into the bonnet. Use his tools to press the window buttons in the door while he tries to get the electrics to open the window. By now it's 8:50 p.m. My partner has contacted our friend who actually had the spare key the whole time. He goes out to our friend and gets to us around 9:30 p.m. We finally get into the car. Partner loads the car seat into his to take Littlin home, who is pretty cold and miserable at this point. The car alarm going off every 20 minutes hadn't helped, but at least he had napped while he was in there. He was just happy to be out, smiling and waving at RAC as they went. RAC stuck around a few more minutes with me to make sure my car reset properly and would actually start. Took a few tries, but eventually we got it working. And this entire time I had been standing at the car window, holding my phone up to play nursery rhymes and program to keep Littlin happy. In a thunderstorm. 3.5 hours. In the pouring rain. Real MVP is my friend who managed to get her Littlin to bed and was in and out of her house with me most of the night, bringing us drinks to keep warm while looking out for her sleeping child, and also helping RAC with the tools while I held up the phone for nursery rhymes and the torch for them. Lessons were learned, biggest one being never give the car keys to the child. Second being, I need a day off. If I hadn't been going for 3 weeks straight like that, I'm not sure it's a mistake I would have made. I'm now taking the day off work to recover from what was a very long, difficult night. My anxiety is through the roof and I nearly passed out standing at the car last night and this morning. TL. Deer gave my 18-month-old my car keys instead of the house keys. He proceeded to lock himself in the car while we tried for several hours to get him out. Next time call a auto locksmith. A decent one would have had it open in 10 minutes. I used to lock my keys in the car regularly as a teenager. I feel for you. Loudly crying. One time I turned it on to heat it up before a final. Locked the keys in the car. That was a really not fun time lol. Go to Home Depot, buy a bunch of uncut keys and make him his own key ring. Lol, I did this to my aunt and then refused to get out of the car seat to unlock the car door even though I knew how to, because I'm not allowed to leave my car seat without my parents' permission. They tried everything. Bribing with Reese's. Can you tell it was the 80s? If I opened the door after the end of the ordeal, after they got me out with the help of a cop after several hours as well, I was like, hi, so my Reese's? Quote. And this why you don't give kids keys. Always have a spare car key on hand at home in cases like this. Or should the key break off inside an outside lock? Man, I've gone for a month without a day off and working every day. It can wear on you. Most people aren't made for that level of action. You make me appreciate the combo pad on the door pillar of my Ford. There's a small safe under the rear seat that also has a combo pad. When we go to the beach, I lock valuables and keys in there. We think one set of keys wound up in a sand castle before we started doing this, and there's never an old man with a metal detector when you need one. Reminds me of a time as a kid when I locked myself and my dad outside of his car with the keys inside the car at some gas station. It took the attendant at the gas station about 10 minutes to break into, unlock the car with an old coat hanger. Cars were a lot easier to break into back in the 1980s than they are today. In my area in Ontario, Canada, someone called 911 about a toddler locked in a car. Police called the contract towing company and dispatched a car at the same time. Within 5 minutes there were 5 other tow trucks there, as they all had radio scanners and listened for police calls about wrecks. 4 guys all tried different doors at the same time and had it opened in seconds. Not one of them would accept any money and just told the driver to be more careful. I bought a vehicle lockout kit off the tool truck when I worked at a tire shop. Used to be you had to be a mechanic, tow driver or cop to buy one. Now they're just on Amazon. My brother locks his keys in the car every now and then. I bought a new car and accidentally locked it while it was running. Sat in my garage for 8 years unused, and now I've used it 4 or 5 times in the last couple. Easily paid for itself by now. Solution: cobble together some keyrings without any keys on them and give them those. Winking face. This is the one situation for which I'm thankful I don't have power locks. With a child locked in the car, you can call fire, especially in any dangerous situation. Hot day. It doesn't hurt to call and ask. Worst thing they can say is no. Most FRS around the country have various tools to allow them to access cars without damage. If all else fails, they can cut the roof off and reach through for your keys. Problem solved. Unrelated really, but saw the make of car and could not place that name right offhand. Google it and lo and behold, it's the Opel that my dad's Buick Conva is based on. It's a Buick Cascada stateside. Fiancé did this while I was inside visiting my mom in hospice. After trying to get my daughter to unlock the door, 2 years old, and no service, we realized that wasn't happening. Then I remembered I had a spare door handle from replacing the door. Lade ran a stop sign into me. who I proceeded to just rip the door handle off with my bare hands to reach in and move the rod that actuates the lock. The fiancé was upset for locking the door, but I had the spare, and I was relieved. What is a RAC? A rock would have opened a window quickly enough.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.